we're going to do some work with the problem solving wheel. So yesterday we learned about the different sections. We learned what this wheel is. We learned that you can use it to solve problems. Today we're going to practice because it's really hard to use something without practice, right? Practice really helps your brain create pathways inside it for how to do things. So one of the things we touched on just a little bit yesterday was we said that sometimes a problem is small and sometimes a problem is big. So sometimes you have a small problem, sometimes you have a big problem. Sometimes the problem is so small that it's just one of those times when you can ignore it, right? Like the pig section, ignore it. And you might not even need to use the wheel because you just choose this solution, ignore it. No big deal. It doesn't really bother me. Other times, the problem feels big and you'll want to use the wheel to help you solve it. So when you have a problem, the first thing you want to do is just kind of assess the situation. Is it big enough to choose a solution? Or is it small? I'm just going to ignore that one and kind of just be flexible and move on. Okay, so that's the first thing to do. Think about if it's a big problem or small. So when we choose a solution on here, we'll say, that's a big problem. Okay, so I have some scenarios in my bowl here, and I'm going to read the scenario. I'll go through a couple with Pablo, and I'll also ask you to take some turns practicing with a stuffy how you would solve these scenarios. So let's go. I'm going to close my eyes and pick the first one. Let's see what it says. It says, your paper fell on the ground and a friend walked on it. I've seen that happen before where paper fell on the ground, someone was walking by, they stepped on the paper by accident, or who knows, they stepped on it, and that's the scenario. So you need to think to yourself, is that a big problem or a small problem? And it's okay. To one person, it might be a big problem, and to another person, it might be a small problem. And it's okay that we think differently about these things because we're all different. Right? So to me, that would probably be a small problem, not one that I would necessarily choose to solve. But if it were a big problem to me, or maybe if I saw someone do it on purpose, that would feel like a bigger problem, right? If someone did it by accident, accidents happen. But if I saw someone step on it on purpose, that might bug me a little more. So if it were a big problem to me, I could use my wheel and choose a solution. I think I would choose either tell them to stop or talk it out. So I'd probably combine those two. Sometimes you might want to combine them. And I'd probably say, and it was Pablo that stepped on my paper. Pablo, I noticed when you walked by that you stepped right on my special paper. Will you please not do that again? Please don't do that. Please watch where you're putting your feet. I used kind words. I had a calm voice. And I gave my message to Pablo. And then Pablo might respond to something like, oh, okay, I hear you. I hear you saying you do not like me to step on your work. Next time I'll go around. Okay, so we can solve the problem. Okay, let's look at another one. Ooh, a friend sings your name in a song. Willoughby, Wallaby. Oh, okay. So maybe it's a friend. Remember that? You know that song? Willoughby, Wallaby, Wecky, and elephant sat on Becky. So what if someone was singing my name in that song? This happened sometimes when we would walk to recess. Kids would do that. They would sing each other's song name in a song. Now you have to decide: is that a big problem for you or a small problem for you? Is it a big, is it a big problem or is it a small problem? Okay, which one is it for you? You can point to the one that it is for you. Big problem or small problem? Okay, that, it depends. That's a situational one for me. If it was just once, that'd be a small problem for me. If it was over and over and over and over again, it would be a bigger problem for me. So let's see which one I would go to. Tell them to stop. I'm going to use Pablo again. Pretend it was Pablo. Pablo, will you please stop singing that song using my name? I am tired of hearing it. I prefer for you not to use my name in a song. Next time, can you use someone else's name? And hopefully Pablo would hear that and say, oh, I didn't realize that you didn't like it. Now I know, and I'll use someone else's name. Ooh, thank you, Pablo. Okay, let's find another. Okay. Here we go. Now this is your turn, okay? So I'm going to ask you to pause the video after I read it and pick a solution that you would use. A friend pushes you out of the way to get to the water fountain. So you're going to get a drink at the water fountain, or maybe you're getting your water bottle. Could be doing anything really, but you're going to get a drink and a friend pushes you out of the way. So first I want you to think, is it a big problem or a small problem? Let me hold this up and you can point. Is it a big problem or a small problem? Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to turn off or pause the video and I want you to look at your problem solving wheel. How would you choose to solve this one? Okay, a friend pushes you out of the way when you're about to get a drink at the water fountain. So look at your wheel. What solution would you use to solve it? Okay, pause me. Okay, you're back. I wonder which solution you chose. I would choose, on that one, I would probably choose talk it out because I'd really want them to know that the pushing made me feel unsafe. And I would explain that to them, that that really made me feel unsafe. Okay, let's do another. Someone calls you a baby. Someone calls you a baby. Big problem or small problem? Go ahead and point to the one you think. Now pause the video and I want you to think about which of these solutions you would choose. Look at your wheel. Which one will you choose? Someone calls you a baby. Hey, you're back. Which one did you choose? There could be many. You could choose talk it out, ignore it, walk away, tell them to stop. Maybe that really upset you. Wait and cool off. Those are all different ones you might choose for that one. Okay, here we go. Here's another. You and your friend both want to play with the squirrel stuffy, but there's only one. You both really want to play with it. Okay, what do you think? Big problem or small problem? Okay. You know the drill. Let's pause the video. Choose a solution. You and your friend both want to play with the squirrel stuffy, and there's only one. You're back. How did you solve that one? I might do share and take turns or make a deal. You could say, if you let me play with the squirrel stuffy, I'll let you play with the baby dinosaur. Maybe make a deal or share and take turns. If you have 2 minutes, can I then have 2 minutes and we'll take turns? Okay, let's see another. Here's one. You and your friend both want to use the blue marker. You both want to use the blue marker. Big problem or small problem? What do you think? You and your friend both want the blue marker. Okay. Pause the video and pick a solution. All right. What did you choose? Yeah, maybe share and take turns. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Or make a deal. Or for me, it might just be a small problem and I'd pick a different color. Here's another one. Let's see what this one is. You want to play magnetiles. Those are building blocks that are magnetic. And your friends are already using most of the pieces. Not many left for you to play with. Fine. Is that a big problem or a small problem? That could go either way, couldn't it? Okay. Pause and pick a solution. Hmm. For that one, let's see, maybe make a deal, share and take turns. How about go to another game? That's a good one. And maybe that's just a small problem. Could be a small problem for you and you don't even need a solution. Maybe you're like flexible. I'll play with the other blocks. Here's one. We are waiting in line for lunch and a friend bumps into you. Okay, big problem or small problem? That could go either way too. It depends how you feel about it. If it's a big problem, you want to choose a solution. Go ahead, pause the video. What solution would you choose? Okay. Talk it out. Let your friend know how that felt. Maybe it didn't feel safe to you. Uh, could be ignore it. Depends how it felt to you. Tell them to stop. Yeah. You want the pink handle on the walking rope, but kids are already using it. So a walking rope is kind of like a long rope and it has lots of different handles on it. And you might use that when you're walking somewhere with a whole group of kids and each person gets to grab a handle. And sometimes they're different colors. So in this scenario, pretend that the pink handles are already being used and you really wanted the pink handle. Hmm. Big problem or small problem? Okay, if you think it's a big problem, pause the video and choose a solution. Let's see. You're back. Hmm. Well, it could be like go to another game, but go to another handle. Choose a different handle. Or maybe make a deal. Since you have pink this time, can I have pink next time? There's one left. Someone cuts in front of you in line. So pretend you're standing in line with a whole bunch of kids and someone comes and cuts in front of you. Is that a big problem or is that a small problem? Okay, pause me and think about it. Is it a big problem or a small problem? Okay, what did you choose? Hmm, I would say talk it out or tell them to stop. Those would be ones that I would choose. Please don't cut in front of me in line, you could say, right? Or you could take turns like, hey, I'm here in line. I'm the first person in line this time. but maybe you can be first in line next time. So make a deal, take turns. Okay. So that was some great practice with our problem solving wheel. And those were pretend scenarios, but you can use this wheel in the same way when a real scenario pops up. So you think, is it a big problem that I need to solve or just a small one? Okay, and if you need to solve it, think about all the options on this wheel that you have and choose one that'll work. Sometimes it takes practice, like sometimes you might choose one solution and it might not solve the problem right away, so maybe you have to try another solution. Sometimes you have to try more than one. But it's nice that there's a whole wheel here with so many solutions for us to choose from. Okay, thanks for working on that with me. And make sure you put this in a place where you know where it is, like hanging on your wall or someplace that's handy, so that when you need it, it'll be there for you. See you later.